Welcome in. I'm Melinda Brandt. Ashley Stroud is here with me. Ashley, it's so good to see you again.
So great to see you too again, Melinda.
And this is a seat at the table. Today we're joined by Lani Derrick, founder of Life Anchored Home. And Lani, what I thought was so interesting about your story is you didn't set out to do any of this. There wasn't a business plan. It just started with a quiet moment at home with your daughter, and I do want to get into that. But the way that we like to start our show is getting to learn a little bit about you. So before we talk about Life Anchored Home, what were you like before Life Anchored Home?
Well, my husband and I have been together for, I think we did the math, it's like 23 years this year, and I'm a mom of two, and I've homeschooled for, I think this is our 9th year, and I was a nurse, or am a nurse, and have been for about 20 years with a specialty in pediatrics, and have just kind of left nursing full-time in the last few years to pursue this business.
So when you were a kid, did you know that you were going to go into nursing? Did you know that eventually one day you'd be running your own business?
No, not at all. My main goal was, and this actually, we just had a conversation about this weekend. My main goal was to be a mommy. I wanted to be a mom. I was set on that, and everything else was going to just fall into place. And then I kind of had lots of lofty dreams as, a high schooler and entering into college. And then I took some time off and kind of found my way into healthcare, and I enjoyed it. And I enjoyed all the specialty fields that I worked into, but it was never really the plan from an early date.
Well, I would think that wanting to be a mom lends into the caretaking, which kind of easily flowed into nursing.
It did. And my specialty was always in pediatrics and postpartum care. And so it is along that line of kind of that young child nurturing.
And did you learn any lessons while you were nursing, like handling people that you can easily see relates to what you do today?
Sure. So, all of healthcare is really, it's not just like the taking care of their immediate physical or medical need, but it's frontline customer service. You want them to be happy. You want them to feel better. And so you have to have your smiling face. And sometimes you're delivering great news. Sometimes you're delivering challenges. But it's kind of just preparing that person for, what's ahead.
Did it prepare you for motherhood?
Absolutely not.
I was going to say, can anything prepare you for motherhood?
Not at all. And it's so funny because I think back and I'm like, I was like taking care of new moms and like trying to teach them how to hold their newborn. And I had not had my own children at that stage. And I think, as I've gone through more and more years and now I have kids who are middle school and older elementary, I'm like, oh, have to be more gentle. I was always just like, it's business. It's got to happen. It's hard. And I'm like, okay, these are my babies and I have to be sweet to them. And I have to be like more nurturing than it's just the facts.
Yeah, so. I think that's as a prior nurse myself, like I get called out. My husband calls me out on that all the time. Just how like, you can be soft, you can be gentle, you can be nurturing. And I'm like, I know, but it's hard for nurses. We're just like, if you're not broken, bleeding, like if it's not an emergency, it's just doesn't always hit our radar all the time.
Exactly.
When I was growing up, Mom was like, if you're breathing, you're going to school.
Yes.
If they have to call me to come get you, fine. But for now, you're going. You're going to see how it turns out.
Exactly.
Well, you homeschool your children. What led to that decision?
So we had, I was actually homeschooled through my high school years. And so I was very familiar with it. And at that time, I graduated in 2000, so, late 1990s. Most of homeschoolers you would meet were within like a church organization, and it's become much more widespread secular and church-oriented now. And so it's changed a lot, but we kind of just, when kindergarten rolled around, we weren't quite ready for him to leave and go do his full day away from home. And so we tested it out and we were like, let's do it for a semester. If we decide it's not what works for us, we'll enroll him in elementary school and we'll make up the semester and go from there. But we've loved it. And it's given us a lot of unique opportunities from both kids are very musical to, traveling during the off season and getting to do some great adventures with them in different times of the year.
Does it change the dynamic of your family from like parent to kid when you have to put on a teacher cap? Does it change or is it pretty much stay the same?
Oh, that's a tricky one. It definitely changes because, mom is easy. Mom's like, I want to go do the fun thing. I want to be the fun parent. And then I have to be like, hey, math has to get done. Hey, we have to finish this paper. You have homework to turn in. And they're like, but you're the teacher. I'm like, I'm still the teacher. Exactly. So, and now as they're getting older, they do some classes away from home. They do like a 1-day academy where they go and have like a different teacher, and then they work on their work throughout the week too. And then we supplement with other courses.
And is this all done? This is me being nosy about homeschooling. The curriculum, is it one that you got online, or is it a Texas curriculum?
Yeah, so it's actually, we've used the same curriculum since we started. It's a curriculum that's developed out of Utah. I just really loved it. It's called The Good and the Beautiful. It has a Christian base to it, but it isn't overtly any one denomination. And so it's very usable with anybody who just wants a very like simple, but it truly is beautiful. And the gal who writes it, her philosophy is like beautiful things in, beautiful things out. And so the pictures are beautiful, the illustrations, she makes it fun. There's songs, there's games that go along, and they make it very, creative, fun learning.
Well, I want to get to the point between raising your family, homeschooling. You said there was this moment that you had with your daughter that kind of shifted things a bit for you. So tell us about that experience.
Sure. So we were, my husband and I, kind of just in this moment where we were really trying to be very intentional with what was coming into our home, be it cleaning supplies to the foods we were feeding our family. And we were paying more attention to label reading than I think we ever had before. And my daughter and I were making cookies, and I was looking at the back of the vanilla baking extract and realized that it had food coloring in it. And this is the same product that I had used for all of my adult life. It's like my favorite brand. And I just had this moment. I was like, why does it have to have food coloring in it? This is actually its natural color. And so it kind of made me go down this rabbit hole of like, well, can I make this myself in a different way? And so I looked up, all the details on how to create your own baking extracts, and it kind of just took off from there. And it was like, okay, I'm going to make this myself. And then from there, how else can we improve the products that are coming into our home with being very intentional in the ingredients? And that's where our private label line came out, where we create our own soaps, our own drink infusion kits, room sprays, and our baking extract line.
At what point did you go from just doing this for your family to thinking this could be a source of income?
Yeah, so we, my mom is a great sounding board, and she has been along every step of the way. My husband, he is great, and we kind of were just all chatting one day, and we were like, you don't want to make vanilla and it be this like, what am I going to do with gallons of this? So, like, it makes a great gift, but it also is actually not a inexpensive product to produce. And so I was like, how can I offset this? What else could we, make for ourselves and also create for others? And that's kind of where our soap line came in. And we were like, well, let's see, what the market looks like for this. Let's try this, test it out. And then we sent some samples to some friends, and we were like, tell us what you think. And all of a sudden people were like, well, how can I buy more? And so it kind of launched off of, this was our private line that we'd created, and we did put it out for sale. We did some farmers market style events, kind of little pop-ups, just to kind of test the waters, and it was very successful. And it quickly in year 2 evolved into, oh, I love these products, but can you put it together in a gift basket for me? I want to give a whole gift. And so last year, mid-year, we really kind of tapped into the curated gifting market, and that's what has really set us off in the last year or so, where we're doing everything from still creating that private line, but also creating a gift for someone's sister to send her for her birthday, all the way to a closing gift for a realtor locally, to the far outline of, I need to send 400 client gifts, and I want to send you a spreadsheet, and you do all the work.
Okay, so how does something like that work? Like a big order? I imagine in the beginning this was something that you were doing at home. Are you still doing this at home?
I still have kind of a gifting studio that we work out of, yeah. So it started in my kitchen. Now our home products are still created in my home, yeah.
I can't even imagine.
I know, especially while you're homeschooling and having kids in your life. Like it's all just kind of intertwined, right? I mean, like, does there ever feel like it's just like an invasion?
It is. My house smells really good.
I bet.
All the time.
Oh
I will
my
say
goodness.
that. Like every time somebody picks something
Party at
up
Lanny's
or they're-
house.
Yeah, come on over. The UPS driver's like, it just every time you open your door, it smells amazing. I treat my UPS driver very well because she does a lot of hard work for me. But yeah, it's just kind of it starts with like sometimes it's a text message, sometimes it's a phone call or an Instagram message of, hey, I got your name, or I saw you in a Facebook group, or, my neighbor told me about something, or I was gifted, one of your products and I'd like to take it further. And so from there, it kind of goes into kind of a brainstorming and a consultation. And then we like put it all together and show them our kind of a mood board style, and they approve it. And then we go to work creating it and producing it.
When you say we, is it just you and your husband? Have you had to get
not.
a team when you're talking about 400 orders? I can't even imagine.
I do have a team. They're all miniature. No, I have.
And that's why I had kids, ladies and gentlemen.
And that's my children. They do love working for me. So it is definitely a family company. And it's so funny. My daughter loves to she wants to take the sticker labels off of everything. And my son, he's a typical middle schooler. He's got about a 15-minute attention span. So if I can give him a job that takes 15 minutes, he's there for it. And then just give him a different one for 15. And so he likes to help me in the evenings. My husband has helped so many components. He is I'm terrible. I hate breaking down boxes. And that's like his number one task is like take all the boxes and break them down for me so I don't have to look at them. This year we outsourced a lot of our deliveries. So we have a young man who does deliveries for us now. And then I have a young lady from church, another homeschool middle schooler. She's going into high school this year actually. And she comes over and works one day a week. And I don't know how I would do it without her, honestly. She's amazing. So.
I love this. It's, I feel like this model, I guess, is somewhat, we've moved away from it, but family businesses, this is like literally what they used to look like, right? It's like everybody pulls their weight, everybody like contributes to the family business, the family work. So it's just such a blast from the past, like to hear somebody, still being able to do that avenue and then make it successful, make it profitable, scalable, like all the things that you're working towards. It's a cool story.
Yeah. It is a cool story, and it just makes me wonder. I can't imagine just one day you have this idea and then actually bringing it to fruition as you have now, with as busy as you are. How did you even know to go from the private line? I know you said you had friends test it out, but how do you set up the business side of it when that really wasn't what you were setting out to do?
Yeah. So it took, so we are in year 3 of business, middle of year 3. And I will say it really took until the fall of last year for me to go, I can't be the one person who does everything here. Like, it's okay to admit that I love the creative aspect of this. And my husband was just telling me this morning, he's like, it was all those years as a Girl Scout. That's what it was. It was the cookie sales and the painting badges. And he's like, you were always going to be a creative and a business owner. I know it was going to happen. And, but it took till last fall for me to really go, it's okay if I'm not the tax person. It's okay if I'm not, the person who's going to, make all the deliveries. Like, it's okay to build a team. And once that team was kind of in place, it really allowed me to kind of focus on how to actually grow the business and not have to do all of the everyday tasks.
What did you find was the thing that was holding you back from building a team and delegating?
I think I viewed this as it was my little creative outlet and not a real business for a while. And then when we needed, when we needed help last year to fulfill the holiday demand, there was no choice. Like, we had to have extra hands, and it was sometimes it was 20 hours a week, sometimes it was 10 hours a week. My helper Violet, she's amazing. She would come and work a holiday market with me, or just help me load the car, and it was essential at that point that we had to go, okay, we're legitimate. And I think what really broke me over is when we hired a bookkeeper. I was like, okay, this is the one thing where I'm like, we're a business. Like, we hired a bookkeeper. Like, somebody else has to do this. It is beyond my novice skill set anymore.
Yeah. I think it's cool just how you're describing it. It sounds like you're just very responsive to the market and what's being asked of you. like how you described it, it was like you sent it to your friends and then they prompted you like, how do I buy more? And then so you're like responding to that in a way that is giving the market like what they're asking for. Same thing with, people saying, hey, we'd like to scale this and can you do this for closing gifts at magnitude? Like I like that approach. It keeps like your overhead lower. It keeps like your expenses lower and you're responding to the need. And I think that's a really smart and savvy way to approach some business models, right? It's really cool. I was curious, have you had to tell someone no? Like, have you been approached with an offer where you're like, we can't do this? Or is it, to this point, has it been like, we will figure out a way?
I think everything has been, it's kind of a double. We have been approached with business that we have turned away off of just not feeling like maybe they were the right fit for our company and we weren't the team for them. But we've always found a way otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah. We make
That's
it
cool.
happen. And sometimes it happens really fast. It's like, hey, I have this need and I need it like in 12 days. And I'm like, let me see what I can do.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have clients who like to plan out, through the end of the year. And I do love those.
Yeah. The people
Because
that
it gives you the
They're
time.
like, let's plan every month. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I love this.
the people that come to you in July planning for Christmas
We've
holiday
already
gifts.
had one
Yeah.
Christmas session phone call to plan for this year.
Yeah.
So
I
do
mean,
love
they
that.
say July and Christmas for a reason.
Yeah.
I wanted to go back to, do you think, and this may be a question for both of you, people that are getting into starting their own business, being an entrepreneur, do you think a lot of it is thinking that you do have to do everything yourself so that it is done the way you want it done?
I think for me, some of the not letting it go is just like, yes, wanting it to be exactly the way. I want the bow to be just this way. I want it to look just right when it's packaged. But some of it's also just not feeling ready to say, I guess it's a failure point. Like going, what if it doesn't sustain? What if it fails? I don't want to let other people down. Maybe I just go slow and I just do everything and test the waters versus like, I'm ready to jump in.
Yeah, I would say that. I think that's probably the biggest hurdle for most people trying to scale is just relinquishing that control over things. And especially, I feel like, I don't know, at least for me, like I have such a strong desire to uphold like my reputation that it's like when you trust somebody with your product, your service, your business, what you're putting out there, it's this huge leap of faith to say like, I am entrusting you with what I really care about this and I'm entrusting you with it. But once you can tap into that and find the right people and you can develop systems, because you can replicate yourself if you do it intentionally. Sure. And you are, adamant about creating systems to follow, you can get really great people. And then what you could not do on your own, now all of a sudden you can exponentially increase.
Absolutely.
But getting the confidence and the relinquishing the control, especially for those of us who are somewhat control freaks, it's definitely, I would say it's the number one thing that keeps people from scaling.
Well, I'm curious, since you have brought a team on, do you feel like it's allowed you to be more creative? Because you're not worrying now about all the different parts of the business?
That's a great question. I would say right now we are probably at a place where our team might have the potential to grow a little bit more. And we've done this very naturally. Like as the demand was there, we brought some help in and we set kind of a timeline. And we're probably where they could have more hours or a second person could be helping more. And so at this moment, no, because our demand has increased significantly still. And so we are still kind of just trying to keep the outflow, what the demand is. And so hopefully soon, yes. But it's hard to sit there when I'm like already planning fourth quarter of the year and doing holiday consults to really get to, maybe I need a creative retreat.
There you
just
go.
Like no phone calls, no email for a couple of days.
Block out a
I just,
month
sit
and
there and
say
just think
creative
about
time.
it
It
all.
absolutely works. I would
hard.
100% recommend that to you. Like I just was telling you guys earlier that we went on our like kind of a 2-week vacation, and the best breakthroughs happen when you're on vacation.
Absolutely.
You get this clarity. You can step back and see things at a bird's eye view. When you're in the weeds, when you're stuck in it, it's sometimes so difficult to see, new outlets or new ways to do things. So my absolute favorite thing is whenever I need a breakthrough, I'm like, let's go on vacation. It will happen on vacation.
Oh, darn it. We've got to go on vacation
shucks.
for the business.
Need another one.
My favorite part of vacation is getting to go into all the shops and seeing like products that I'm like, that would be great and a gift for this.
Get
And so
inspiration.
my phone comes home
Yes.
with like a camera roll full of like products to investigate. So I guess it does kind of help get that creativity
It
going.
absolutely does. Yeah.
So for now, you're doing it at home and delivering. Is there any thoughts to putting your line in a store, or are you there already?
Yeah. So we do we ship nationwide, and we work with real estate brokerages all over the country currently, and in private gifting as well. But we had a time in our first year of business that we were in 5 retail store locations, and we started having so much business from those exposures that our own website for our direct to client really grew significantly. And it took a minute to really consider what approach we wanted to have. And we actually withdrew from all of our retail spaces because our demand direct to consumer was so high. And so we've decided at this time, the majority of it is just through our website.
So even though you're not doing retail anymore, can you talk us through the process of that?
Yeah.
Were you approached by these businesses, or was it going and just seeing if they would accept your line?
So both. So we had a few stores within our community who approached us and said, "Hey, we'd really like to have some of your products on our shelves." And we worked with them, and we want to be a part of that community for sure. We love supporting our local different business owners and stores. And when we have gifts that we are sourcing, we always try and stay local whenever possible. So that's another way we get to kind of collaborate with those businesses. But we've also done that where we've approached businesses, whether it be through their website or social media. And I think at the beginning, that was very much our focus. It was like, I want to get in as many retail spaces as possible. And I just it was this check mark on my board to feel like a real business and to feel accomplished. And then as we started getting in stores out of state, we kind of realized that there are different expenses with the overhead of that. And our products are, like we talked about, they're very intentional. And so they're made with not just the ingredients that are very intentional, but the packaging is very intentional. And so a lot of our products are bottled in glass, which becomes very heavy, and shipping is very heavy.
yeah.
And so it became one of these things where is this really the space we're supposed to be in right now? Or is this something that we need to pull back from and revisit in the future? And so we took that time to kind of exit those spaces when the opportunity presented itself and kind of regroup and go, hey, maybe next year we'll want to figure out some new systems to do this. But in reality, our direct to consumer has gone so high off of our website that the need, I can't even imagine trying to keep up with retail space needs at this stage.
So go into how that was built off of your website. Was this done through social media advertising? Are you advertising at all? You're networking? How did it get to be where it is filling your time?
Yeah. So we've never done any kind of advertising. We do have social media on all the channels. It's the same, which is it's my next step of relinquishing control, as Ashley put it. And Ashley, I love her social media because it's so creative and it's so fun and it's so inspiring to me. But I would love to hand social media off to someone else to be creative with, because I feel like I get so caught in it that I don't have the opportunity to be creative in the product development as much. So social media, yes, but also networking very much. I've been a part of a great group in our community for a few years now. It's actually where Ashley and I originally met. And I don't miss a meeting an opportunity to go out and be with them. Sometimes it's the end of the week and I'm exhausted, but it is the hour that fills my cup. It makes me go, okay, I've got this. Let's tackle another month. And so meeting great people through networking has been a key.
Yeah. The funny thing is that we have a holiday party every year. And so you're all supposed to bring like a white elephant gift or a secret Santa. It's a white elephant.
Yeah.
It's like a white elephant gift that you bring. And I think last year during the holiday party, how many people bought gifts directly from, like, it's like the entire party was nothing but life anchored home gifts.
It was a compliment.
It
and
was
I think
epic.
the year before there were like 2 or 3, and I was like, oh, that makes my heart so happy. And they had gone out to support those local retailers that were carrying our products at that time, but had still purchased our products from them. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like, that makes my day. And then last year,
Oh, wow.
I feel like I counted. I feel like it was like 7.
Yeah.
Like in this, and we're not a huge group.
Yeah.
But like,
I think it was more than I thought
you
it was
think
more
it was
than
more
that.
than that?
I think it was.
was
It
some-
felt like every
some
other
good
gift
stuff.
was a life anchored home basket, which I
Yes,
loved. I was like, this is wonderful.
So talk me through the networking part of it. You just said it fills your cup to go and meet with other people that maybe it's not the same exact experience, but it is an experience where you can learn from what they're doing, maybe what's failed and what has succeeded for sure. Why is that so important, especially when I don't mean to make this sound bad, accidentally fell into
Yeah.
a business.
Sure. No, that's kind of how it went. So the networking groups, this specific one, I have a couple that I'm a part of, but this specific one is very important to me, and it holds an important little spot in my heart. And I think everyone in that group is so hyper focused on supporting their community and not just growing their business. And I've even heard one of the gals say that she realized that like her business increased exponentially when she quit focusing on her business and instead focused on how she could give back to her community. It became a natural reaction to that. And so we meet once a month, sometimes twice for a morning coffee or something. And there's always a question kind of posed for the month, a topic of what does your business need right now? Or, how are you approaching your biggest challenge going into the next season? And we all have a minute to kind of reintroduce ourselves and talk about our business, give that, quick elevator speech, because there's always new visitors to the group. And then we get to answer that question. And I can't tell you how many connections have been made through there, whether it's my bookkeeper or, Ashley, who she probably has graciously not told you how many times I text her and ask for her insights on things. I'm like, so what do you think about this?
Oh.
What are your thoughts? And she's always poses me really thought-provoking questions that make me kind of step back and reflect and go, oh, where do I see our business? How do I feel about that? And so, and then sometimes it's just supporting us through purchasing. And sometimes those are clients that we do closing gifts for a realtor in the group or, a referral gift or a thank you gift.
Yeah. There's always great master. I feel like when people get together who are in a similar season of life and working on their business and they're intentionally trying to grow it, great ideas just flow from that level of like mastermind proximity. And you always leave feeling inspired by other people and the successes that they're having, or you just find that, hey, they're struggling with the exact same thing that I'm struggling with. So
it's a real thing. It's okay to be like caught on this, and how are they working through it, and how can I use that same, insight?
Yeah, I definitely think that plugging into community groups like that, either networking groups or mastermind groups, it's such a valuable aspect for business owners, just to find that village, that tribe of people who can hold you accountable, can give you advice. You can just have, relatable conversations with, because not everybody is in that same season of life where they understand the struggles or the highs that you're going through too.
Yes.
Well, and it seems like it serves as an anchor for you as far as moving your business forward. We've talked several times now, Ashley, with our different guests, that just kind of getting back to the way things used to be, whether, it was a referral from a friend or a family member. And it seems like a lot of the people that we're talking to that use that as their base is seeing it expand instead of these businesses that are just start to want to take off from the beginning and be big. Like you just said, the friend that that once you start focusing on community, it just came together instead of focusing on the business. I would imagine, though, that's a little bit difficult because you are trying to run a business.
Absolutely.
And you want it to be successful.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How do you walk that line?
So that's a good question. So I think it's being involved. It just comes down to the community itself. And sometimes, we make donations to organizations that we might not necessarily be a part of or even, anticipate a huge return on. but it's somebody that they know that we care about our community and we're out there. Sometimes it's volunteering our time, just being part of that community really helps.
I think people do business with people they know, like, and trust. That's like a known fact. You know, you do business with that. And I think the most successful business owners like intentionally block time to focus on giving back initiatives or volunteering in their community or being present, being involved. Those business owners, I feel like, are the ones that are maximizing that exposure, getting people to know them, because it's obviously it's not the intricacies and the logistics of running a business, but it's very important that you have that visibility in your community. Like, that is how you gain trust within your referral partners and within your clientele. So if you're not doing that, like that, to me, it's critical. It's a critical foundation point of any business is being visible.
And I think not making every interaction about your business as well. Like, you're just there because they need that extra set of hands. And then if that generally comes into the conversation, that's great. That's a, offhand connection and it's a bonus. But you're there because you want to be part of that group and not because you're just trying to get your name out there.
The world definitely needs less transactional relationships. Like, it needs more just authenticity and real, caring, for sure.
So, Lani, you said for a long time it felt like you had to prove yourself to belong in certain rooms. Why did you feel that way, and how has that changed for you?
I think it goes back to that just kind of feeling like you're a legitimate business. Like, I do this out of my home, and, we're just kind of this small business. And then we reached a point where we're like, are we a small business anymore? Now we have, people that we're employing and we are outsourcing tasks. And at what point is your break over? And I asked my bookkeeper. She actually had an answer for that question, which was wonderful. And so this is the year we are no longer considered a small business, according to her. And so I think that just kind of gave me this boost of confidence that it's like, it's not a one-off. It's not somebody is at a holiday market and they saw our booth and they stopped and they bought something because we're there and we're convenient. People are seeking us out and they're like, hey, I have this project. I need your help. And then I'm like, oh, okay. Like, they know. Again, our reputation now precedes us, and they know we're reliable. They know we're going to be timely, and the projects, they're going to love it in the end, and we're going to make sure that they do.
Yeah, I would say you have an online e-commerce store and you're shipping nationwide. Girl, you are no longer a micro business.
Makes me feel great. Thank you.
But I could see how it would feel because you're like, I'm still in my home.
Yeah.
But it's fantastic. You can do that in your home. I would think that would be a big perk.
Well, and at one point we kind of moved out of our home and had an extra space. And what happened was we were like, we've kind of outgrown this space in our house. And what ended up happening as a result of getting more space was we got busier. And then it was, okay, now I'm away from the house too much. And I don't want to be away from, the kids' free time. And my husband was working from home at the time. And so we had a balance. But it was kind of like, I want to be, present more. And so we were like, how can we reconfigure this to bring everything back into our space where I can easily be part of it. And sometimes it's like you're doing your math. I'm going to go take a phone call, or, you're practicing your music. I'm going to go send an email. And that just allows for a little bit better family balance versus I'm completely absentee and away from our space.
Yeah. Well, it's cool that you're having the business serve you, right? Instead of you just constantly serving the business. The business is serving you and your lifestyle and what it's going to, make everything smooth and work together. And, that's awesome. What a really cool, inspiring story,
Well, and because you have your kids a part of it, they're seeing day to day. What is it, the lesson that you want them to learn from being a part of it and seeing how you have grown this organically?
I think, I have a middle school boy, so he already knows everything. So
yes,
I don't know that I have anything to teach him.
Expert
level. But my daughter, she's a little bit younger. She's 9, and I love when she's like, I want to have a business. What kind of business can I start? And it's everything, it's 9-year-old girl stuff. So it's everything from a lemonade stand to maybe I should make candy kebabs to beaded bracelets. And she just has that creativity, but also that savviness of I can make something and then I can present it to people and maybe they will want to buy it from me. And so it's fun to see her do that. But ultimately, the objective is obviously to build a company that is a legacy for them. And then we have a name and a reputation. And at one point, probably sooner than mom heart would like. They'll be old enough to really have a major role in a business. So with my son right now, he is my biggest challenge because I'm trying to convince him that it doesn't have to be a girly job. That's what he calls it. Like, you can still be part of this business, and there are a lot of roles that are not like the creative aspect of it. Like, learn how to do the business part of it, learn how the numbers work and those things. And so like you can run a completely separate part of this company than your sister who wants to do the creative aspect of it one day. And so really just kind of all the lessons.
I think it's
so many components.
Isn't it so fun to bring your kids along for that journey? Like Warren and I will be talking about our P&L or something in the car, and without fail, my son will perk up. He's 14,
Yeah.
and he'll perk up and be like, are y'all talking about gross profit again? And it's like, yeah, we are. Do you have any insights?
Well, and that he knows that terminology, and
and it is such a fun journey to bring your kids along for it. So.
Well, and it's a unique journey for them. This isn't stuff that you learn in school.
Right.
This is only something you can learn by having parents that are doing this.
Yeah.
So that is a unique opportunity for them.
Yeah. Now, so you were in nursing. Did you, at what point did you decide, did you stop nursing and then start this? Or did you start this and then realize that it could replace your nursing income?
I was down to, I kind of slowly stepped away from full-time nursing as my kids got older and homeschooling, was more demanding. When they were really little, my husband and I would alter our schedules, and we had, some help on the days that we couldn't, both one of us be off. And, but as they got to school age, I moved from daytime to evening. And I was with the same company here in Austin for just under 14 years when I left. And, they had provided lots of different opportunities to be, daytime, evenings, weekends. And so it worked with us. And then for those years while I was with them, I did telephone triage. And so it was a position that during the pandemic, they moved us all remote from home. And so at that point, I was working from home, but I was only working a few hours a week, and it was in the evening. And so I was still getting to be the homeschool mom during the day. And then it kind of was just, it kind of gently and gradually fell away. And my husband just came to me one day and he's like, I think it's just time for you to be done with this, which, that's a great thing to not have to go, I don't want to work doing this anymore. For him to come to me was encouraging as well, because he already saw where this business could go. And he's like, I think you just focus on the kids and, this creative, at that time it felt very hobbyish outlet. And just kind of see where it goes. And, of course, in the beginning, you're like, I'm going to work every angle. I'm going to do every Christmas market. Anything anybody presents to me, I'm going to be there. And then as it gets busier and more productive, you get to slowly be more selective in those types of activities. And so it kind of just gradually fell away. And it was like, okay, it's time to be done with that. Now, I still am summer camp nurse when my kids go to summer camp. So I still have a couple weeks a year I'm a nurse.
Yeah.
So I think it's interesting you said this felt like it was still somewhat hobbyish when you started.
Yeah.
Has the enjoyment you were getting when you were doing it as a hobby, has that faded away, or has it grown while you have turned that into a business?
I think it's grown. I still very much enjoy the creative aspect of it. And I love when a client's like, hey, I want to make this, and here's kind of my vision. And then I get to take off with it and come back and go, okay, what do you think about this, this, and this? And here's how we'll package it. Here's what the presentation will look like. And they're like, I love it. I love getting that text message that's everybody loved it. And I just am like, yes, it was a success, So I think I still enjoy the creativity of it. The harder part is the deadlines and email and that social media that I so don't love. And so as we get the opportunity to bring people in and help, and then it allows me to keep that creativity versus getting brought down with the day-to-day aspects of running a business.
So how are y'all using social media?
Well, just the typical, we have a Facebook page and we have an Instagram, and
yours is not typical. You're selling it so short. I think because I follow them on Facebook and social media, and it screams I don't know, warmth and home. It has this amazing,
It's like a hug feeling.
Yes. Like a hug.
so sweet.
Yeah. All the videos are just so, that you just want to go into like a zen watching the reels and stuff they put out.
I
I would say y'all are definitely an elevated social media.
I try very hard to limit the like AI image
Yeah.
to like announcements versus like photos. Like I can, I scroll my own and I'm like, I can tell that is a Chat GPT picture because of the writing on the labels. Like I pick up on those little things and I'm like, oh, yeah, we can't do that. And so, so what Ashley said is, I feel accurate and I appreciate her kind words. A lot of effort does go into it. And so sometimes we don't post as frequently because
You're busy.
we really do try and be selective about what we're putting
Well,
out
and
there.
Genuine and authentic, and that's hard
Absolutely.
to do every single day if you're trying to put something out there because you feel the pressure to.
And sometimes it's literally a timing. Like I have a project and it's finished and I love it and I can't wait to share it with the world, but I can't share it before my client gives it to her clients, And so I'm like, okay, it's got to go on like a 2-week delay because I want it to be in their hands before like, I got one of those. That's where it came from. I love it, So yeah, Instagram, I would say, is our main avenue of social media.
That seems to be common for everyone. Everyone seems to be turning more towards Instagram.
I think what Ashley said about like being authentic and being genuine and the warm hug, all of that is what we want. Mm-hmm. That's like what we're trying to convey. And so while there are some super cute brands out there who, I follow and I enjoy listening to, I am just not the person you want to see doing a TikTok dance with my product. And like that works for some companies and it's not us. So, you're going to get more every couple days, some kind of a sweet photo or reel.
Do you have any advice for someone that maybe has a hobby, has played with the idea of turning it into a business, but hasn't taken that leap?
Yeah. I think my biggest advice is like, just keep pursuing it. It may not happen right away and it's going to take some time and you're going to decide whether, you see the results where, hey, I should pursue this and, just take off with it. And maybe it's not. Maybe you're going to come up against a roadblock and be like, this is what I'm supposed to do. I don't know what that was, but it's what got me here. And I actually have an email in my inbox to respond to today. And it is exactly that. I met a gal over the summer and she says, I have a friend who just started making soap and she wants to decide if she can leave nursing and do a full-time soap business. Can I connect y'all? And so I'm like, okay, I need to respond to her email and schedule a time to talk with her because I do want to encourage her and be like, hey, it's what started as just vanilla baking extract we thought was like just for our family has turned into something huge that hopefully my kids are going to want to one day run.
Well, I do want to, we've kind of talked a lot about your business, which we want to say is Life Anchored Home. I know you're busy, but I imagine you wouldn't mind more business. What is your website?
It's lifeanchoredhome.com.
That makes it very
nice
easy.
And simple. And same on social media, Life Anchored Home.
Okay. We're going to move into rapid fire.
These are fun.
It's going to start with like a this or that. Then I'm going to give you one word, and I want you to give me the first thing that comes to mind, and then maybe a few deeper questions. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay, we'll start with this or that. Bake or cook?
Bake.
Farmer's market or grocery store?
Farmer's market.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Dress in heels or blue jeans and tennis shoes?
Blue jeans and tennis shoes.
Okay, going to do the one word. What comes to mind when I say home?
Family.
What about leadership?
I would probably say like God, religion or church would be that's where our name comes from, really. Like our life is anchored in our home, in our God, in our family, and that's what makes it all work.
I love that. Success.
Apparently it's a bookkeeper. That was the moment.
I was going to say, I usually ask the question, has success changed for you, the definition of it through your life? And So now that you've succeeded with the bookkeeper, now what's success?
I think it's just continued growth and continuing to see, people excited to work with us.
Purpose.
Being intentional.
What's one thing you're proud of that no one sees?
I think it's probably just that my family is ultimately still first. This has allowed us to keep our home and our family connected and tight, and they're still our priority, and my kids know that.
What do your kids teach you every day?
Middle school, so many things. Well, last year it was 6th grade math again, as we did that together. I think they teach me, I guess, perseverance. My daughter is the quintessential child of words of encouragement. She's like, I love you. I'm so proud of you, Mommy. You're going to do great.
goodness.
You got this. I can't wait to hear about it. And so I think it's just that keep going, persevere through it all.
That's a testament to you, because it's not like she came up with that on her own. She's been
the
poured
best.
into.
She's like, we always joke, we're like, she's the best sharer and the best cheerleader.
Oh.
Like,
That's awesome.
you want her in your corner.
That's so awesome. What's something you're better at today than, say, 5 years ago?
Work-life balance. Yeah, this has allowed us to have that, versus before I was just, gone. Then I'd come home. But now I've figured out how to better integrate the two together and have time with each.
Finally, what does a seat at the table mean to you?
Well, so we talked earlier about feeling like you have a spot in the room, and this was a big accomplishment. I was very excited to get to be here with you both, and I feel like this kind of is like a tick mark of success, like being seen outside of what I'm pushing in social media. And so I think it's a testament to having persevered and created something that's worth sharing, and even having insights to share with others as they're, deciding if they're going to be in business.
Well, Lanny, thank you for sharing your story. It's really been interesting to hear, the accidental business and how you've done it and made it so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks. Ashley, thanks for coming.
Yeah,
It's good seeing you again.
Always a pleasure. So much fun interviewing these wonderful, wonderful women.
And we want to thank everyone for listening. If you've enjoyed today's conversation, you got to be sure to follow A Seat at the Table on social media and subscribe wherever you get your podcast.